Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the 15-year veteran Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers as they take on the 11-year man Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. From up top, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis with you. And Charles, an NFC North matchup here, the so-called black and blue division.
Atta baby, show that age.
It's going to be a battle in 2019 as well. Who do you like out of this division?
Well, Chicago is a defending champion, and they play defense as well as anyone in the league, so you have to like their chances to repeat. Minnesota thought they were going to run the division, had a rough year. That's not normal Vikings football. They'll get back into the fray. Green Bay had such an underwhelming season last year. They changed coaches, but they still have number 12 throwing the football. And Detroit, they're on a crusade to eliminate bad football and get back to being the Lions that roar.
The Lions offense and Matthew Stafford ready to go here. Stafford still a solid quarterback in his 11th season now, but the Lions still yet to win a playoff game under his guidance. And last year's mark of 6-10, the worst since 2012 for the Lions. Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, here's Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Johnson, and 3 yards there, takes him to the 45. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Running back Kerryon Johnson was drafted out of Auburn in the 2nd round of 2018 to become the Detroit Lions lead running back, something they haven't had in a long time. In fact, in 2018, he ran for over 100 yards in a game in September, the first Lions back over 100 yards since Reggie Bush on Thanksgiving Day in 2013. They're hoping that continues, and he'll be the 3-down runner that they've been seeking.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Stafford flushed out right. James has got it, complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 34.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Look at him.
Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Boom! Sack, baby! Sack!
But enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Devon Kennard. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Rodgers going to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, let's get sacked.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open on the left side, this is Valdez-Scantling. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
On the return, here's Agnew. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Safety Adrian Amos was a free agent in 2018, and division rival Green Bay took note and brought him to Wisconsin to patrol the center of their defense and also drop down near the line of scrimmage and make some big-time plays in the running game.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford, and Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And James has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they? Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Hey. 4 down.
On the toss, here's Johnson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Hey, number 20. You better bring it.
They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Set. 180. Right 50. Right 50. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Zadarius Smith able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Eluding the pressure. And the pressure gets to him again. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30, 10, touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 77 yards. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come. And with his speed, if he just finds... the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Crosby with the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. They begin the drive with Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Preston Smith on the tackle.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
Well, your QB's been Sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Throwing on second and long. Stafford. Throw left side complete. It's James. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
To throw again on second down. Stafford, he finds Riddick, complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
Let's go. Let's do this.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On on 2nd and 9. Rodgers, and he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 2nd down, Rodgers. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 44 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one, an 8-play drive, it spans 75 yards, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford, and he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 11 yards there, 1st down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Stafford. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, 38 yards. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
A good pick up there, 26 yards. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he finds a man on a crossing route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now at Ford Field. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And his pass incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now. That's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
This is Jones. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He's got the first down and more inside the 40, and he'll take this down the 40-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they really get
pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Another try after the first down sack. Stafford to the right and complete to Galladay. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep, ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. This is Riddick on the screen. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop 1 pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a
rush coming, and he's taken down. Kyler Fackrell in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down. Here's Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
These defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold him for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Williams. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Here comes a big one as this crowd gets up making some noise. It's 3rd and short. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Let's go, fellas.
Still 1st down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, first and 15.
It's just me and you.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Detroit.